It's so fantastic to have you here today. I am beyond excited. I really, I mean, I do love you as a person. I do love your work. I think you know that. And we were working on getting you here for quite a long time because it's a complicated times these days, right?
Yeah, yeah. My schedule is very strange, but it's becoming less and less strange, so that's always a plus.
So can we have like a lovely hello from the chat for our wonderful guest today? I'm so excited. She's bringing together game development and music. She's an opera singer. I really look up to her. So please, a warm round of hellos and welcomes and applause from the chat. And then I would just ask you maybe that, yeah, that you introduce yourselves into
Sure.
sorry, yourself a little bit, and then I would love to introduce you a little bit through a few questions in the beginning of the
Um,
stream.
I'm just opening up this stream as well because I realize I can't see comments when we have
Oh
this
yes,
screen here. So you don't have to change anything. I'm just going to open your stream as well in the side so that I can see the comments. Oh, I see the comments. Come on.
awesome
Okay, so I see
guest.
myself. This
Nice
is
to have you
great.
here. Hello, hello.
Tell me how I open the comments. I'm such a. Is it theater mode? I'm such a Twitch noob. This is gonna be
Are you on
horrible.
the Twitch?
Ah, I see.
Did you?
I see it. I see it. I'm good. I'm
Yes.
good. Yes, chat settings. Great. Fantastic. I have a chat. This is so cool. Okay.
Can we
All right.
spoil
Well, I
about
don't know.
your potential Twitch plans or not?
Well, yeah, you can spoil about my Twitch plans because my Twitch is non-existent right now, but it's going to be existent.
But you have already an
I
account
have
which people
five
could
followers.
follow, right? So everyone,
Yeah.
so we start out with a shout out. Oh, wrong chat. So our guest, please follow her on Twitter, and the same account also goes for her Twitch. So please send her a few follows already there. This would be really lovely. Okay,
Yes.
so
So much.
so please
All
please
right.
introduce yourself very quickly, and then we should start a little bit of.
All right, so my name is Clio. I go by Clio Em for my indie work. I trained as a composer, as an opera singer, and now I'm also a game dev. I'm doing production for the amazing Microbird Studios from Philip Seifert and Regina Reisinger. So really having a lot of fun there. So my game dev stuff has nothing to do with the music stuff. And that's actually wonderful. I'm really enjoying this split. As a musician, I spent a lot of years working on a lot of strange electronic ideas, and then I spent 4 of the last years singing in Theater an der Wien in the Schönberg Chor, which is like a really intense experience. And I spent a lot of time on stage. And managed to also do that during all the COVID crisis stuff, which was really intense. So it was always a very interesting life. And tonight I wanted to just show you a few things I've been working on because I just got a looper. Actually, I got it in the fall, but I didn't use it at all since. And I dug it out this week. So I'm trying a lot of stuff. I used to do a lot more backing tracks, but we're going to try everything with Looper today. And it might go loopy, ha ha ha, and it might not. So we see what happens. And I was thinking, since you're all very nice people, we can do a few musical experiments here, and you can listen to them and tell me what you think. So
This
I'm gonna have a
is
ukulele, keyboard, and me. Yeah.
this is. I am already beyond excited. Can we have a little bit hype in the chat for that? Is this? I
I'm
am
looking in the
looking
chat.
forward to this
Yeah.
so much.
Uh, yeah. All
Yes.
right. Well.
So, but before you start,
Yes.
the your path is so exciting and inspiring. I mean, you're now a producer in a game dev
Mhm.
studio on the one hand, and you have
Yes.
this like classical music education, right? So
Yes, I do.
how do you think those two worlds like work together, and where are differences?
Well, it's quite different. I think that they're very complementary because I also spent some time working in arts management. So the skills transfer over pretty well. I think the main difference is, I guess, the expectations of perfection are different. Like, obviously, when you're developing a game, you want to deliver the best product possible and be good at what you do. But I find there's a little more latitude in games to try stuff out. If you're composing new works, it's a bit different. You experiment a lot. So I see a lot of parallels. But in my operatic life, it was very regimented and very strict. So I was told, do this, stand there, move there. And don't get me wrong, I loved it. I loved the heck out of it. And I often said people would have to drag me kicking and screaming off the stage if I ever were to stop singing. It's a fantastic thing. It's just that as a chorus member, because that's my role in opera primarily, in the big theaters. I've done some smaller solo stuff, but when I do the big theaters, I'm in the chorus. So I'm like a tiny piece of the moving machinery. And my experience in classical has been very, very enriching. It keeps the mind really sharp because we're learning so many pieces all the time and singing so many different new things, often at first sight. So our reaction time is really fast. And so that's been very enriching, but it's also sometimes very stressful, I'll be honest. And we learn to just, not show that stress and sort of internalize it. But then sometimes adrenaline becomes a motivator, which can be good and bad. So I think for about half the time that's okay, but then if it's 80-90% of the time, I think that adrenaline starts eating you. So I think it's really, really good and healthy to have two different worlds to draw from. Also, it enriches the game dev, all these things from classical, all these concepts. I think it really helps. But they're very mutually compatible worlds. They're just incredibly different from the execution of how you put a product together. So I guess I don't know if that answers your question at all.
No, in a very different way. Very interesting. There's a quick question from the chat, if I
Yeah,
may ask.
yeah, absolutely.
Which voice type do you have for the musician part?
I'm a soprano. So that's for those people who are less into voice typing. That's the middle female voice. There's a high voice, soprano, middle, mezzo, low, contralto. I'm smack in the middle, which is wonderful because you can go a bit up, you can go a bit down, and it's the Carmen voice type. It's the best voice type. Mezzo's rule.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
I would have another question. Something which
yeah.
really brought us always together is also this love for the science fiction world. Do you want to share anything about that?
Sure. Well, I'm absolutely obsessive about science fiction, which everyone who hangs out with me or works with me is forced to listen to on a daily basis. And Star Trek, Star Wars, everything. I've been watching Book of Boba Fett in the last few days. And also, I just grew up on that stuff. So I wrote lots of sci-fi music. I wrote lots of sci-fi stories. I often put them together. And I did the talk with you for Game Dev Days, I remember, was to do with world building and science fiction as well in games. So how games get in different aspects from the music and how that helps build imaginary worlds. So for me, the most fascinating thing about science fiction is sort of this Tolkien-esque building of the world. So how does that world get put together? It's not just in sci-fi, but in sci-fi it's the most obvious. So you have a complete imaginary universe, and how do all those aspects fit together to make it a cohesive imaginary universe? That fascinates me.
Fantastic. Yeah, this is how I like sort of met you. I mean, it's where like where you sort of transitioning from a little bit from the music and writing space actually to the game dev world. And this is actually like a question which was just posted in the chat. It would be cool to know how you actually transitioned from music to games.
Well, it started during the first lockdown when I had nothing to sing. And the first thing I did was I started a Patreon page, if anyone knows what that is, and I started putting my stories and music up there. And I started gamifying it a little bit. Then I started getting into video game music for that. And then I saw this GMTK game jam thing. I don't know if you know that particular game jam, and it's on the YouTube channel I followed. And I thought, okay, let's do it. And I had no idea what I was getting into. But I made my own story game, so it was really simplistic. It was a twine pointing, like it was a twine link clicking thing, and each link had an HTML sort of blip of code that I put in that would trigger a particular song. So as the character goes through, you have to read a page of text. And when you go through, the song starts playing for the different moods, for the different situations. So it was incredibly simple, but in essence, yes, a game. And I thought, oh my God, this was so fun. So I did a couple more jams, and then I started working with some people on the last jam I did, which was, I think, in Klagenfurt. And I just was really enjoying it. I was starting to learn a little more about it on the side, and I honestly thought I would go into more video game audio because I was giving some talks and looking into researching that. And I had been researching world building in music for some time. And so, lo and behold, I got this interview for this producer position, and I got it, and I couldn't be happier because it was so strange. It was the same week as I had a an audition for the Vienna State Opera, which was absolutely terrifying. And I knew where I felt at home, and I thought, it's time to dive into this game stuff because one world, and it's a fantastic world, the opera world, but with games, I finally felt I could sort of put all my interests together. I'd always been that odd one out, the one lurking in the corner, talking to the director, trying to figure out the stage and lighting and this stuff, and also, building electric circuits as a kid. And this was the place to really start putting it together. So I couldn't be happier. It was more of an abrupt launch from one to the other, I suppose, the transition, but that's what happened.
Wow. Yeah, I think this was sort of the time when we got to know each other. I think it around the first lockdown, wasn't it?
Yes, yes, it was.
Yeah.
And then I was just more and more asking questions on the forum, and I have to say the indie forums in Vienna for games are just so sweet. I met all these lovely people. I went to these game dev meetups, and I kept meeting more and more lovely people. I'd known a few people before who worked at Mipumi, and so they were obviously really cool, and I got along with them well. But I hadn't really dived into their world yet so much. I had seen
Yeah.
their studio, and I thought, oh, that's awesome. But I hadn't really put my mind to it yet, like that this could be a career for me because it just seems so fantastical. Which is a weird thing for an opera singer to say, right? Because that's but it is what it is. And I was just really meeting more and more people. Everyone was so warm and supportive, and honestly, that's what made it possible because the warmth and the niceness and the lovely attitudes of the indie devs I met were what encouraged me that yes, this would be possible. Yes, you can learn this. Yes, you can learn that. And not, no, don't go here, don't try that. Which is unfortunately something I see. Like, there's a lot of gatekeeping in music, and it's not universal, but I had experienced we've talked privately about this, such horrible things sometimes in my various auditions that this just felt like, oh my goodness, I meant to do this because the people want me to try and see what happens. Like, everyone's supporting each other, and so I'm not saying that's universal in games, obviously. Like, let's not be naive, but the community I happened upon was just incredibly supportive, so that really helped.
No, I was so happy when when you finally said that you saw this difference in dev. I mean, there are very dark corners in game dev. To be honest, I think you know my stories on the other side. But like especially the studio you're working with, this is such a warm place, and I'm like really looking forward what you guys are gonna build and what how this will turn out.
Yeah, super excited too. So it's just, I suffice it to say, just a really lovely environment. So much fun every day. I have the most fun, and that's just all you can ask for.
So
Yeah, I'm just saying Syncopete is saying aloha, and I want to congratulate him on his amazing Festival Tycoon tracks because I was playing the game because I know the dev Johannes, and I was like, oh my goodness, I know the music guy too. Ah, so exciting! So really fantastic time with that. Yeah.
Pete, congrats, really well done. There's
Yes.
there's a question from a Centaur, by the way. How
Yeah.
come music devs always have multiple keyboards? Do they differ that much from each other? Do they connect their MIDI software with multiple instruments with them? I think this is like your fancy setup, as Antiker is referring
Well,
to.
mine one of the people who uses the fewest keyboards that I know, but basically, there's various types of keyboards. Mostly right now, you use this MIDI interface, which you mentioned in the question. I can barely see from here because I broke my glasses today. Go me. But basically, it's usually just for ease of access. Like you could technically program a keyboard that's larger and more elaborate into various sections, and each of those sections would have different synths or different sounds assigned to them, and you can map MIDI on your instruments very well. You can also map them to various digital audio workstations on your computer and have that handle it. But it's a personal choice. Like for me, for example, I like using more than one keyboard because it's just like, okay, well, I don't have to map this thing and set it up and do half like this and half like that. I can just put it through a synth on one DAW here, which is maybe I'm using Logic, and on this one, I can just put it through its internal synthesizers or another one. So it's basically just flexibility, and honestly, it's just fun. I can't speak for other people. I don't know what the heck they're doing, but for me, that's why I use more than one keyboard. So.
Ina just added, I'll quote now, I stopped my music studio studies because a lot of people told me there won't be work. I'm very happy you get so much support.
Well, it's I have to say it's been a rough time. Like I wouldn't say that it was a bad choice to stop the music studies in terms of practical stuff. It's just been also Vienna and my particular approach to it. And for example, not every musician is willing to do a chorus because some people want a solo career. So there's compromises. I mean, I love chorus, but if you want to stick out more and make a famous name for yourself, that's not the way to do it. So I guess I would say I'm more of a workhorse musician. I do sound stage sessions also at, it's called Synchron Stage sometimes, which is sort of a video, TV, film sound recording studio in Vienna, right at the edge of the 23rd district. They also do Vienna Symphonic Library, so I sing for them often, and that kind of stuff. So I'm doing a lot of these things where it's not necessarily your name attached to the project. It's just the knowledge that you can have a lot of fun singing or playing an instrument, and so I think in terms of jobs, it's a mixed bag. Like you can have a job pretty much always teaching music, but that's not making the music necessarily, and that's a completely different set of capabilities. Like I've often taught as well out of necessity, also out of because I like it. But it's a rough world out there, I would say, in music, but it's not as terrible as you think it is. So it's yeah. I don't know if that helped anyone in any way.
I think the approach you've chosen, that
Yeah.
you
Mm.
took it from a different perspective, and that you
Mm.
really tried to enrich what you were doing with other
Mm.
talents or like skills. So, for instance, like reading the sci-fi world and then bridging into
Yeah.
the game dev world. I think that's a smart move. So, everyone, I think it's time. I think it's time. Of course, we're
It's
not just here to talk,
mm.
right?
No,
No.
unfortunately.
So Clio has prepared one of her songs first, right?
Yes.
And
So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and let me see, which should I pick as the first song. I'm going to put out. Do you want a funny song or a serious song?
hey,
I
what do you
just
want, everyone? Funny or serious song? Post it quickly into the chat. Serious or funny?
Otherwise, it's funny.
Team fun, funny,
Team funny. Team
funny,
fun.
funny. Everyone
Okay.
wants fun. Okay,
Good. Team funny. Okay,
I'll
so first of
slowly
all,
remove myself out of the picture. So
okay.
there you go.
So I have to retune my ukulele because I was doing some alternate tunings before and I totally forgot to tune it back. Luckily, it goes fast. I tune by ear without a tuner, so people are of mixed opinion on that. It's a little more imperfect, but I like it. Okay, so this song is called Space Song, and it's about a girl who meets a very dodgy space guy who's that typical hipster in every bar that you don't want to meet. And they also have them in space because why not? They're everywhere. Hello, hello, can anyone hear me? Am I just venting on this frequency? Wait until you hear my story, and if you don't believe it, I'm sorry. It started one night when I met this guy. He asked me, I'd like to fly. I replied, I don't really like jets. He said, well, my dear, have you traveled in a spaceship yet? Said, you think you're crazy? He said, I'm not, just follow me. Then he showed me his new ride, and he asked me if I wanted to fly. And fly. We got to a planet I've never heard of before, but he was a cheater. His wife answered the door, and she kicked him out, and she took the ship, and suddenly I had nowhere to return. I'm lucky I have my guitar and singing in it. I'm really starting to like this planet, even though I'm the only human on it. There's another dude, works at the bar, serves the brew. Take your words, but I'll see you later. I'm exploring space with an alien waiter.
Bravo!
All right,
Very
so
nice, very nice.
that is the silliest song I have in my repertoire, so it's only downhill from here, unfortunately. um,
Nice, nice.
can everyone hear everything?
You, and you did produce it all by yourself, like the lyrics and the.
Yeah.
Oh wow, nice, bravo!
Yeah, I usually write everything, and I actually, not to toot my own horn, but it was usually budgetary reasons which made things, and I mixed and mastered all my stuff. So on my bigger Gravity Wing album, I still am not entirely happy with all the ways that I mastered it. Like the levels pop a little bit, but then on my EP after that, I really feel I accomplished a better mix and master. So yeah, just try to dig into all those skills. I think it's important for all of us musicians to know a little bit about all of it. So
Wow,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
No, congrats! Really, really lovely. Very impressive.
So I prepped some sort of medieval Renaissance-y sounding stuff in anticipation of the game I think you're going to play.
Oh,
Yes.
should we? Do you want to play another one of your songs, or should we start the game? Up to you.
Um, Start the game and we sort of see what happens. So as I mentioned before, the looper is an experiment. It's my first time doing it in front of people. So you people are very nice. Thank you for being my test audience, so to speak. If you have any sound concerns or something's cutting out, the settings on Discord are very tricky because it has about 5 filters. So sometimes it mutes the audio. So if you don't hear an instrument, for example, just please type it in the comments. I've had that before. Otherwise,
Do I need to
I
change
guess
anything in the Discord settings?
no, you don't. I might have to. We just have
Okay.
to see how it goes.
Okay.
And so I don't know. I don't think. Will we talk in between songs? I don't think it's going to be a continuous loop, will it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh, sorry.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
I just did something not so good.
Mhm.
Sorry. I just did something which was medium smart. Everyone, just give me 1 second until I fix that. I did. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I just need 10 seconds to include your picture again, because I need to move you now to my other screen. Yeah, that's a smart idea. That's a smart idea. Distract the people while I'm trying to fix my failures.
I've just done another alternate tuning.
When did you start playing music? How old were you?
I was 6, so I'm one of the early caught ones. But actually, interestingly enough, I didn't want a piano. I wanted a keyboard. So I guess that was Baby Composer, and I got a Casio with all the buttons. And I spent so much time, very little time practicing for my piano lessons, and very much time hacking out weird rhythms and writing songs. Well, songs. I don't know if you could properly call them songs at that age, but writing something anyway. So I was into the creating very early, and I have to thank my parents for that because they really sort of detected what was up with their kid, which
Yeah.
is like,
Are your parents
yeah.
also musicians or?
My dad was an engineer, and my mom is a visual artist. She actually did the visuals for my Gravity Wing cycles. She did these beautiful motiony films, which, I mean, if maybe another time I could do them as an overlay. I just didn't think of it for today, but they're really beautiful. And she does sort of not foot tone, and she opposite for tones. Like she puts visuals to a lot of my music actually. So very
Ah,
meditative, like animated paintings. It's really unique. Hallie Ray is her name. You can check it out. I'll post it on my Twitter later.
yes, please. Yes, please. So everyone, so what we thought of, and this is a little bit of an experiment because you all know that my machine is a little bit on the not so well working side. But we thought that I will play Elden Ring, and Clio is adding the music in the background. So this was a little bit the thought for today. I cannot promise that this will work nicely because again I am a little bit scared of my PC. We have a plan B, but we thought we'll try. So I'm starting Elden Ring right now in the background. Let's see if everything starts already to become super slow. This might happen, especially in the beginning when I'm connecting to the server. But
Yeah, I just need to see what key I go with first, major or minor, if it's going to look very scary or very happy. We see what happens. I've never played Elden Ring, so this is, um,
this is
yeah,
perfect.
yeah, I
Elden
think
Ring is
so.
a perfect starting game, I guess.
I think so
What
too.
can go wrong, right? I just
No, nothing can go wrong.
I'll just remove the music. I'll keep the sound effects in the game, or should I remove also the sound effects?
Uh, I think it'd be cool.
What? Sorry? Say again?
Keep the
Keep
sound
the sound
effects.
effects, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this should work in theory. Let's see. Yeah, the frame rate drops already like crazy. So let's see if this will work out or not. So I am medium optimistic, to be honest. I'm looking at the stream right now. Maybe I can reduce the quality to low. There we go. Maybe this will work better. Okay, let's see. Let's
Okay.
see. I'll quickly start the game, or like start streaming the game. What? Where's my character? Uh-oh. Oh. This was a close one. I almost created a new game. This would have been
Yay.
interesting. Another 70 hours of stream. Okay. This would be an interesting follow-up. Okay. Sorry that I'm a little bit slow here. This is just a
That's
little...
fine. My machine just told me I'm out of hard disk space, so if I disappear suddenly, that's why.
Everyone, this is live. I think you see this is not pre-recorded. I know you
Nope.
have thought so, but we are actually doing this live. Okay, so let's see if this works. Okay, I think this works now. What can go wrong? Clio, what can go wrong?
Nothing at all.
Okay.
So let's go.
Oh,
Too loud?
I think I thought first we don't hear the synth, but I think it worked.
Okay.
Cool.
I will just go back to.
Frame rate is terrible, but I think it's working.
That's okay. I think we're doing pretty well given the concept.
I think like as soon as you play the synth, we cannot hear everything anymore. Could this be?
Because I think the main problem with that, this is our test track, is that I have detect loudness on thingy. Thingy means Discord, and for me it works. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sensitivity detection. So that might.
No, we cannot hear you at all anymore. We lost you.
Down lower, but I think it's filtering out the synth. So let's try this one more time and see if it works.
Yes, yeah. Cool.
Okay.
I do like the concept we're having. It just needs
Yeah.
to...
Is that working?
Yes.
Good.
Really nice. Yeah, I think the
So
game is very laggy, but the sound
yeah, so
is really really nice.
So that was actually a song of mine from an upcoming album called Dark Cecilia that I heavily improvised over top and elongated for this. It's just called Cecilia. So the album is based on a bunch of Baroque ideas, like early music, sort of Renaissance and Baroque. So these early English and German and Italian musical ideas. And I tried to then Purcell, if you're aware of who Henry Purcell is, he wrote a lot of operas. I think it was the 1600s, and it was all. One of his pieces is called "Hail Bright Cecilia," and I wanted to write her angry, dark goth cousins album. So it's going to be a bunch of transformed operas as well. Mm. But I think it's time for more music. So
No, really really
I
nice,
think I'm
really
gonna
nice.
do.
Is there any way where you can like put the info for your next album, or will you put it on Twitter?
I'm going to definitely put it on Twitter. So after the stream, I'll put my Bandcamp and my Patreon and everything. So sort of in Polish, we say do wyboru do koloru. So like you will have the choice of every kind
Perfect.
of possible platform you can imagine, I guess, except Twitch, because apparently that's my blind spot. So, yeah.
So everyone, how is the like game quality? Is it super laggy because we have the
Yes.
plan B of a different game, or should we
Yes.
stick with Elden Ring? Quick question to the chat.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is now hard because it's now so laggy that we're already like in 5 seconds delay.
No one is saying anything, so unless I just don't see it from the delay.
Do you want to see the other game? It's a
I
very
would,
dark indie game.
yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the other game.
Okay. So it's called Dark. I did stream it earlier. It's an indie
Okay.
game. It has a little bit of a dark atmosphere, and it's a puzzle indie game. Let's put it that way.
Sure. A lot of my songs are pretty upbeat, so we might have to switch back at some point, but I'll do my best to be dark.
I can also. What could I also? I have Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. This would be rather fun.
Yeah, it could be fun, yeah.
What else do I have? What else could be interesting? We're looking for something upbeat.
Mm.
Um,
It can also just we could also just keep streaming Elden Ring if it's not if we
it
can. I
was,
mean,
I
if
think,
everyone's
very
okay,
laggy.
it
Okiyomi
was
just
too
said
laggy,
that
yeah. Yeah.
it was really laggy. Up upbeat. We could also try Diablo. This is what we were streaming the past days. It's also dark though.
Yeah, well, why don't we try that indie game? Because I think that if it's dark, then it's going to be absurd and a sort of fun counterpoint, ironically, if the music's upbeat.
Okay.
But
Which would be
I do
again,
have
this is
songs.
also a little bit the idea of the stream, that we actually show the
Yeah,
importance of music in games,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
how the music in the background and the different kinds of music in the background actually immediately change the tone of the game. We could also Day of the Tentacle I also have installed.
Sorry, what do you have? I
Day
didn't
of
hear
the
that.
Tentacle, the indie,
Uh,
the point and click adventure.
right now, I'm just really looking forward to see Dark, even though I'll probably make it hilarious.
Okay.
But I could probably think of something. I immediately already have kind of a plan for something else dark sounding. So
Okay.
I can think on my feet. That's why I'm here, I suppose.
So then very excited what you think about the dark. Sorry. So there we go. Put it there. Okay. There we go. So let's see. This should work much nicer.
but it's playable on my guitar in the next room. So I could go get the guitar if no one minds my absence, and it would really fit, I feel.
Yes, sure.
Sure,
Perfect.
I'll go grab it.
We
Are
won't
you?
go anywhere. In the meantime, I'll
Okay.
just start this level and we'll continue with a little bit. Oh, Clio was frozen now. Oh no! Yeah, this is the first time that we are trying to do that, and I'm just saying we do have room for improvement. We do have a little bit of room for improvement. Good. So in the meantime, and hello everyone. Nice to see many of you, which I did not see for a long time in the
Okay,
stream.
we are back.
Yes, this was super fast.
Yeah, I tried to be fast. I'm also not a guitarist. I'm just self-taught, so it's always fun to experiment with this. So whoever's guitarist here, be forgiving, but it's a really good instrument. I'm going to take some classical guitar lessons. Okay. If someone can't hear that guitar, just let me know. All right. My robotic form lies upon a bed forlorn. I built myself a heart, but it won't restart. Since our first day, I could never imagine parting ways. But you said we must, and that I had to trust. Ghost heart, beloved, pumping us into my veins. Ghost heart, beloved, I don't want to understand. Don't want to understand. Would you please take my hand? Oh, please take my hand. You refuse to recall our lovers' fairy tale at all. And you said you'd be gone, and then you were gone. Ghost heart of mine, setting up in the sky a factory of pain. 'Cause it's gonna rain. Oh, it's gonna rain. Ghost heart, beloved, pumping ice into my veins. Ghost heart, beloved, I don't want to understand. My heart is a ghost since you went away. Since you went away. Every bloodless day.
Wow, this is fantastic. It I was
That
almost
definitely
crying
fits the
already.
mood, huh?
Oh wow, this is also one of your songs.
Yes, it's one of mine. It's from actually. I'm not sure if I want to include it on Dark Cecilia because it's fitting, or if I want to put it on a separate EP because I've been working on some robot stories for some time. Something like 7 or 8 years. I've been gathering slowly these robot tales, and one of them got turned into an opera. I wrote just the text for that, and a composer named Anthony R. Green. He did the music, and we won like a not an award exactly. It was more like a winning a staging in Montreal, and I couldn't be there because I was at the stage at Théâtre Andrevine. But he got a recording of it, and it's about two women, one robot, one biological, that look exactly the same, that talk exactly the same, that think exactly the same, and want to kill each other, and why. So I wanted to sort of develop a little novella or collection of stories around that, and this was one of the songs intended for it.
I do
Um,
love this song. This is like exactly like
Thank
this.
you.
I think you know my type of music. This is like really.
Yeah, I do. That's why I thought of it. But initially, I didn't want to include it on the stream because I didn't feel ready. But then I thought, we're being so spontaneous. Why not?
I
Um,
this is really like, wow, wow.
cool.
Thanks
Well,
thanks
I'm
for
glad you
sharing
like
this
it.
one. Very
I
touch.
actually have some soundscape experiments that sort of work with the guitar, but I have to fetch a mallet that's in the corner. So back
Yes,
to randomness, BRB.
perfect. So everyone, you see this stream is live.
It's very live. Super freaking live. So while I was at it, I brought a drum because, like, why not? This is a Colombian tambora. My partner is Colombian, and he's also a musician. He's a singer, conductor, and metal guitarist. So he's a lot of fun, and we're going to be doing a project together with video game controllers as controllers for music in July that I won some grant funding for.
Bravo.
So you will see us hopefully soon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do some random stuff here and keeping the dark mood. This is what in classical is termed extended techniques, which is where you play the instrument in a manner it's not supposed to be played. So mallets on the guitar I haven't seen before, but there's a lot of things you can do. You can hit the body as long as you're careful, don't destroy things. You can play up here. I have a piece around that, and right now I'm just gonna try some harmonies to set a dark and scary, creepy mood. I'm gonna try to mic it here. So if anything is completely inaudible, just let me know. We see.
Okay, we are ready.
I am ready too, I think. Okay. I tune this thing up, I can actually continue with both hands. This is called open tuning. It's makes the chord without you having to press down any frets. Well, I mean any strings on frets. Okay, so we can keep this guy going here. Left hand maybe. I see. So the synth was clipping. I think that's what I read. So we can move on to something else.
I think
But I really like the mood we achieved.
it really, really lovely mood. Really, this was really something. Um,
Well,
what do you think about that? I close the game now, and
sure.
because I am just a little bit scared that it's a little bit lagging once I do start the game. I just
Okay.
wanted to shed a little bit light into the dark game, why I did pick
Sure.
this as a plan B. Because this was actually created by one person only.
Wow.
It was a recommendation from Thomas Feichtmeier, actually. I think you know him too, right? And
Yes.
and he recommended that one, and this was created by one person who actually started off as a musician and then over
Okay.
time taught himself all the other skills. So I,
Wow.
I, I had a little bit of a like resemblance here, and I thought like this won thousands of awards, and then I feel this game is very inspiring in terms of what this one person achieved, and I think
Absolutely.
I am always like really looking up to you, and yeah, can't wait what you all gonna achieve over the next couple of years.
Well, thank you so much. That's really kind words, and I'm having a lot of fun. I have to say, I was as you know, somewhat nervous about this stream because I thought, oh God, how are we going to proceed, and how are the improvised sections going to fit in, and how are the pre-composed sections going to fit in? And that last one was a full-on improvisation,
Oh wow, nice.
based on some experiments I'd done before. But so those usually need a bit of working out after, but I think it's fun to go there sometimes because you can really get into it.
Oh, really, really, really nice. Really nice. So we already mentioned that we want to keep this today a little bit short, just
Yes.
to, yeah,
Yeah.
test a little bit the setup. I think it was not perfect in terms of technical issues because I think my machine is just at its kept like, yeah, it's dying. Let's be honest, it's dying. But do you want to eventually close with one of your songs as a?
Sure, let's
be...
do it. So
Oh.
I have this feeling that it would be really nice. I don't know if we have a lot of cat fans, but I know you're a cat fan.
Why? Why would you think
Because
so?
I know about the cats that dwelleth in your in your dwelling. So
I have no idea.
I know, right? They're so mysterious and well hidden. They've so basically, I'm going to play a tiny, cute little song that I wrote called Milo and Celestine. It's from my Gravity Wing cycle, and in this whole novel slash soundtrack slash my mom's films that I developed this world and built this whole world. I had to put in two cats because I couldn't help myself, and I got some mixed reviews on those cats. But honestly, I'm very happy that there are characters in the book and in the songs because they also ended up in one of the main pictures because Mom also illustrated the book.
Oh
And
wow!
there's a picture of these two beautiful
How many
cats. I'll post it later.
how many books do you have out there? This is
Just
crazy.
one, and it's self-published, and it's on Bandcamp. You can have the link. And so I published a few short stories in sort of online. I call it magazines or whatever. But in terms of the book, I self-published because basically it was a behemoth, and I needed full creative control. And it was also my very first big written work. So I didn't want it to go through the chopping block of trying to find a publisher for it. I wanted it out there, and I spent 3 years editing it. So I figured at some point it's good enough, and we put it out there. So yeah.
Wow, nice! Congrats! Really, really,
Thank
really
you.
lovely achievements. This is amazing. And I am looking forward to the cat song.
Okay, good. I have to just clear my pedal to make sure there's nothing in it. So apologies if something ends up in the pedal because yeah, I apparently triggered something blinky, and I don't know why it's blinking. So we just have to
Is this
see
this
what
blue
happens.
light we see?
No, that's fine. There's a light on the floor that's green and very blinky,
Ah.
and it's not supposed to be blinkies, but you know, it's okay. I have to actually have to tune. All right. Okay. Okay. Almost ready. Good. Oh wait, it's not recording. Okay, one more time. I have to switch the. I'm actually just gonna reboot that guy because it's less risky that way. Okay. Clean track, no blinky light. Okay. Oops. Okay, so my pedal decided not to work. And we have fixed the issue. I turned the volume down. Okay. Mhm. It's always the last one where you want to get everything right, where everything is hilariously wrong. Okay, here it goes.
Always, always.
Milo and Celestine lived in the garden among the green, feeding off fairy dust, chasing the butterflies they see. They never felt the cold of the great winter roads. Their only worry was finding a good place in the garden to hide. Milo and Celestine, sweet little friends without care. Celestine and Milo, sweet little friends without cares in the world, watching the plants as the fern fronds and fur around them. Milo and Celestine, you'll never know what you are. Cats chasing butterflies in a garden that orbits a distant star.
Bravo!
All right.
Really, really nice. I do love your voice. So thank you so much, Cleo. This was fantastic.
I'm really glad that worked out.
So everyone, like, please a huge round of applause and hypes and love for Cleo, for being with us today. And this was and introducing yourself and preparing the songs. This was really something. Thank you so much. I'm spamming everything. The Twitter account from Cleo, the Twitch account from Cleo. So hopefully there will be some content on Twitch also by Clio very soon.
There will be soon, I promise.
And then we can also like arrange the streams a little bit easier, probably, that you have this double stream option.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for having me and for proposing that we stream something together. And it was just such a lovely dream evening, and just everything's super just beautiful and wonderful, and a great time.
I just really hope that we see each other in real life soon again after all those lockdowns.
Exactly. Well, thanks so much for having me, and thanks everyone who watched for being so wonderful and supportive. I see all these clappy hands and things, and I really appreciate the lovely energy. Thank you so much for welcoming me. welcoming me on the stream as a guest, Joey, and we'll see each other soon.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Really hope to see you very soon again. Let's give it up for Clio again. And yeah, bravo. Thank you so much. This was really wonderful. And especially like the one song which almost made me cry. You gotta send it to me somehow.
I will. I will.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye everyone. Bye everyone also in the chat. Bye.
Bye bye.